Hello everyone, this is Hand of Fate. It's basically a card game with rogue elements and a dungeon crawler constructed from cards that represent different events, as you'll see in a minute. Now, let's start the game and show you firsthand.
The game begins. One lives and one dies. Let us see what you are made of.
You're gonna have to defeat a series of bosses. Mainly, the game has two modes to play, the story mode and continuous mode. Story modes represent different bosses to fight in different dungeons, with different levels or sub-levels for each dungeon. After you defeat the first three bosses, the first of them, basically you could call it like a tutorial. So after you defeat the first three bosses, you can unlock the continuous mode. Now the continuous mode basically represents just going through dungeon after dungeon after dungeon and sub-level for each dungeons, and until you reach a final level. Don't really know what the final level is, but if my information is correct, it should be around somewhere around 100 levels or so, even maybe more, about 115. So there's a lot of playtime, a lot of things to play.
Scared of returning to the fray?
Yes. The main NPC, which is the dealer of the cards and the keeper of all the goodies, it's a pretty crafty NPC. It really was very well made. It really introduced you into the storyline, and he's very neat. Actually, even giving you a few pointers along the way, but you need to really listen to him to catch them. Sort of. You're gonna get bored of his dialogues at the end because, well, they're pretty much the same for all the game. But he has a lot of options, a lot of replayability, I suppose, even for him. The game itself has a few, actually, pretty good replayability characteristic to it, basically because every dungeon can be different every time. It's pretty much random, composed of the different cards that you unlocked or what you already have, and some that he will introduce. Okay, so let's begin.
I'm sure you know you can add and remove cards from your deck, but feel free to familiarize yourself first.
Just like it said.
Here is the first member of my court.
Yes, so the Jack of Dust will be the first boss we need to defeat him. And just as he said, you need to you can actually make your own deck, from which the dungeon itself can be composed for that said level. On my first run through of the game, I tried to unlock as many cards as I could, and well, that pretty much sort of bite me in the end. Was pretty tough, but I reached the end of the game. Now enough bragging, and let's start this so you can understand how things work. Okay, so this would be your chosen weapon, how much gold you have, the food you have, I'll tell you in a minute how you use the food, and this is your health, 100 right now. This can go lower or go up. The food, each time you step on one card, indifferent if it was already resolved or stepped on, you will consume one food. Some events will give you more food, some will lower your food. Even by half or more, depending on your choices, because each event, as you will see, has options. They are not all the same.
That first moment, that glinting weapon, the call to action, to adventure.
Yeah.
There is nothing like it.
Just like I said, he's pretty crafty, he's pretty well made. The Twisted Canyon. Let's see what this is up. You see a weapon glittering in the sunlight, lying next to a skeleton at the bottom of the canyon. The walls of the canyon are covered in thick vines, perfect for climbing. Now you have two choices. You can leave it be and just move on. You do not resolve the event itself, and you do not get nothing out of it. Or we climb down. So let's climb down to get that weapon. Hopefully it's gonna be better than us. You will mostly
Choose from these
So basically, you have 4 options. Most events have this. It's pretty much RNG, I suppose. Some of them have more failure and only 1 success, or different combinations from failure, huge failures, and success and huge success. Now, we'll get to and pretty close to failure, but we succeeded. So climb down to retrieve the weapon. That's what we choose. What we chosen. Very carefully, you make your way to the bottom of the canyon. Now, if I would have mistakenly or unluckily would have chosen the failure, well, the story would have been a bit different. We would have fallen down, and we, for most part, would have gotten unbuff cards of sorts. We could have lost money, health, or maybe even get a debuff, a permanent debuff. Well, sort of permanent. You'll see in a moment. After we get the weapon, we'll open the inventory, and I can explain more. And I can explain more to you. Okay, so you retrieve the weapon from the ancient corpse. Draw 1 weapon card. He will draw it basically for us, and we'll get a sword. If we continue, it will be the sword is 23 damage, and our current weapon, the rusty axe, is only 20, so it's good for change. Now, if I would select the yes, this sword will be equipped instead of the axe, and the axe will drop from my inventory down, and we will lose it. Not really very important to keep the weapon that you don't really use, but you can actually find within the dungeons different shops which you can sell the items that you do not need anymore and get a few money, a few coins to actually maybe help you buy something else. Things are not that lower at price, actually. They're pretty expensive. So we're going to choose no.
Moment to savor.
Yes.
That will make you much more effective. You can always
now we
review
open
your
the
cards
inventory.
here.
So we have, this is the weapon. We have the rusty axe, and we have another weapon here. We can just select it, equip it, and now we retain the rusty axe. We can sell it later. It's going to be like 3 gold or 1 gold or something, not that much. And now we have the sword equipped, which is better damage. Both of them do not give any magical I don't know, buffs or whatever you're going to call them. You have items with magical properties. Most of them are, actually. In the beginning you'll find them I guess at a slower pace, and will progress the way on the way. So we have also armor. What have to okay, that was a bit of a mistake on my part. We have light armor, and this will be the curses and the blessings that we get within the game. You can get curses that will unbuff you basically for the period of time that you have them on yourself. You can dispel them, but you need usually high amounts of money, and you need to find a shop that can actually remove curses. Not all shops do that. This will be the helmet. You get different helmets. This is the shield, different shields. This is the artifact. This is basically a normal item, but it has different properties and a limited amount of charges. Let's say some of them are 3, you use it 3 times, after that it just disappears. You need to re-find it one way or the other to actually have it again. Okay, this is the rings or trinkets and the gloves. Okay, so we equipped the new weapon. We just go back and continue on our merry way. Let's go this way. The Mr.
I was
Lyle.
never a fan of illusion or pretense. Here, I'll make an exception.
Okay, whilst enjoying your evening meal at a local tavern, a strange old man takes the seat next to yours. He taps your shoulder quite painfully with his wooden staff to get your attention. And you notice that he appears to be a goblin, poorly disguised as a human. His wizened face grins at you with a hint of madness. You actually can say it in the card too. Nice mustache though. My name is Mr. Lionel. If you give me what I need, boy, I will conjure up your heart's desire with this wizarding wand of my own creation. Yeah, that sounds very encouraging. Have you ever heard of backfiring magic? He chuckles uncontrollably for a few moments, then sits patiently waiting for your answer. Now, you have different choices. You can give him the bread from your plate. That will consume one food and he will give you something. Mainly this card basically gives you shields, food, or sometimes money, I think, if I'm not wrong, depending on your choices, and the sub-level from the dungeon that you are in. So each card can play differently. Can give him 20 gold, but we don't have to. We will have 0 gold. Ask him for what he needs, or ignore the goblin. Ignoring will just move on or get an unbuff, depending. From my experience, it's best to just choose the first, at least in the first playthroughs, first levels that you play through. Give him the bread from your plate. He considers the bread seriously before placing it carefully in his coat pocket, seemingly satisfied. Mr. Null taps his staff on the ground, and a shield materializes at your feet. There you go, old bean. He smiles a worn grin and reveals all his chipped-in yellow teeth. Your face reminds me of my son. I hadn't met him. You haven't met you. I haven't met you before, have I? Yes. I guess you're gonna have to also endure me destroying English. And draw one shield card. So from all the item cards that you have in your own pocket, you will draw until you receive a shield card. And it was the first card, and we have a normal shield. And with Q, you can actually counter different attacks or stun your opponents with a shield if you have a shield equipped.
You can now
Not a
reflect
long
your
stun, but it
opponent's
is a stun.
ranged attacks using your shield.
Yeah.
Make good use of this skill if you wish to survive.
Then before you can stop him, with inhuman speed, he snatches a pickled onion off your plate and sprints out the tavern door. So we have only 70 food. So let's move on. You cannot move diagonally, unfortunately, just straight.
Fair Merith.
The
I'm not
maiden.
surprised to find that this encounter remains vivid in your memories.
One day, in a shady forest, you encounter an elf maiden. She stops to greet you. I am Merith of the Forest Folk. My people have long helped the mortals of this realm. What boon would you ask of me? Ask for longer life that will give us a heal or a boost to life. Ask for supplies, that means food, or ask for gold and you get some gold. Now for the first level you don't really need that much gold because you're gonna find most of the items that you need, and they're not gonna be that extraordinary, not even in shops. So you could ask for supplies if you are not sure that your food is going to last enough. Basically 16 should be enough. Or for gold, like I said, gold doesn't really matter. The life, it's double-edged because you can just get the heal, and I don't really need any heal. So I don't know. Let's ask for supplies. Let's just play it safe. You draw 2 gain food cards. 3 food.
I'm sure you are grateful for that.
And 5 food. Very nice. We're at 24 right now. The greatest of magical artifacts were forged long ago and have only limited uses before their power is spent. Just like I said, magical artifacts has a limited amount of uses. So even the cards give you different hints if you get to read them. Use them wisely and they may guide you to victory. Farewell mortal. Barely I invent words too, not just murdering English. Like I said, you cannot move diagonally, and if your health is low, or you have damage, every time you move and you consume 1 food for that move, you also heal. So, if you have enough food and you need a lot of heal, you can just move between already resolved cards, or events. And we found the stairs. Usually the last card is the stairs, usually. Sometimes even cards that you played, I don't know, like 5 dungeons and they're always the same, can actually change. RNG can give you a fight there and there.
Your opponent waits here for you.
Just like he said, so the boss is somewhere around here, probably the last.
It is early to be talking about victories and losses. Let us see
Winding
what you're
trail.
made of.
Yeah, let's see what I'm made of. Suddenly, a tree falls across your path, blocking the way ahead. The dealer draws you 1 monster card. And we have a tree of dust. This means 3 mobs and 3 dust mobs, which means bandits. Weapons bristle from the trees around you. Their wilder's face obscures by the undergrowth. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass it by. Give us all of your gold or die. Now, you have two choices. Give them all of the gold and probably the event will be resolved. You just move on. You have 0 gold, so you could actually get that. I don't know if they get mad for 0 gold or not. Or attack the cowardly band for daring to threaten you. We're gonna choose the first one. It's, I guess, more heroically. Attack the coward band for daring to threaten you. You shout a battle cry and raise your weapon. This way, I'm also gonna show you the combat. The only problem with the combat is the camera. It's not the best camera in the world. It's just from one position and you have to actually move without really seeing from behind your character. But apart from that, if you get used to it, it's pretty nice, I guess. Okay. Come on, game. Come on, game. Cards come, we get equipped, and we have our enemies.
You can now counter your opponent's attacks. Hit the counter button when you see the flashing indicator.
The green, I don't know. Oh, caught me. The green stuff around their heads. What the hell? I'm just jumping into their hits. So the green stuff around their heads is actually countering. You will also find mobs that can that have just like the green one, a black one. That's an unparable, or you cannot parry that hit. So we got a lot of hits actually. We didn't really play this that well. You search the bodies for loot. The dealer draws you 3 game cards, and that's a lot, and that's just good. 1 equipment, wow, nice. And we have a helm. Any healing that the players receive is doubled. That's gonna actually help us for all the damage we got. 3 food and 15 gold, not that we really use them. Probably we're gonna find a shop somewhere around here. Now let's see, the helm is already equipped, usually it is. When you don't have anything equipped, the first thing you find for that slot will get equipped. And that's about it. Not that button, not that button, this button. And the Dead Man's Gorge. Sure, as you can see, we had 80, now we have 92 because we have the helmet, otherwise the healing would have been much lower. Let's see, Dead Man's Gorge. While crossing the ancient rope bridge of Dead Man's Gorge, you hear sounds of movement from below. It's an ambush. Draw 1 monster card. 2 of dust, so 2 bandits. Wow, a lot of fighting this round. You can skip the intros. Let's see, maybe this time I do not get hit. Almost got hit there. Again, I just jumped into his sword. That will be the stun. And that will be the kill hit. As you play along, you will see that some cards have different ways to resolve them. Oh, nothing interesting to say there, character, eh? Dealer, I guess. Basically, by resolving them, you can remove them from your hand, otherwise they are locked there, so you will most probably encounter that event within your play. Okay, let's see. The dealer draws you 3 game cards. Please do. 1 equipment, and it's the same sword we have.
The most fundamental symbol of light for an
just keep it. 5 food, don't really need, because this dungeon is gonna end pretty quickly, and 25 gold. Now, if this is a shop, the money came just perfect, I suppose. And it's a shop, and we almost heal fully. Yeah, fully, yeah. Like I said, murdering English. In a shady grove of a beaten trail, you find a traveling merchant looking to trade with wandering adventurers. Yeah, we'll approach the shop. He tells us something, that he greets us or something like that.
If you were wondering why you've been collecting all that gold,
this is why you're collecting the gold. So you can buy, sell items, heal wounds, because well, we need one heal if we should get, and buy the food. We don't need to buy the food because we have more than enough. We can redo the entire dungeon again. We should check the buy items now. Explorer's Helm. It's too late for that. This is an artifact we don't really need. I guess we could spend the money on the artifact, considering that after we finish the dungeon itself, everything we loot as money and equipment will be lost. On the next beginning of the next dungeon, for the next boss, this is only for story mode what I'm telling you, you will have your beginning equipment a bit upgraded, but that's about it. You need to restart to gather stuff for your character. Okay, I guess this one? 25? Yeah, buy it. Because pretty much just we have.
Artifacts provide powerful special abilities to use in combat, but it takes time to ready them.
Can sell some items, and I'll show you the selling. So its value is 3, damage 23, we already have it, and we just sold it. The ones with the blue and the I guess the finger, the hand with the finger, whatever that is in the corner, means they are equipped. So we could have we could sell only the sword. So heal wounds, I don't think it's necessary. We can deal with the boss, and the food we do not need. So we get out of here and go fight that boss. Which should be the last card. And here he is. Now he, being a boss, he does a few things like buff his minions, and he will always have minions.
And kin. From such dark and brittle iron I forge my tools. Now
yeah, I know. You made the cards, we get it. This icon here, it's important. Cards with this icon then do not necessarily need to be bosses. Other events have it, with different icons. Give you tokens. If we win the fight, these tokens go in our tray. After we finish to fight the boss from that said dungeon, you break the tokens and you have to choose between a few items or other event cards. Even maybe bless cards if I'm not wrong. After you chose them, well, they get the possibility to be in your hand. And you can remove them or put them in your hand, so finding them within the dungeon to a certain level, because, well, everything is RNG, so you know how that goes, I suppose. Let's fight this mob of ours. Let's see how many minions. Usually he has 4 of them. Yeah, like I said, 4 of those, so 4 bandits, normal bandits, and the boss. Come on, let me skip this. No skippy? Okay, no skippy. So
some enemy attacks cannot be blocked or countered. Get out of the way or stop them with your own counterattack.
That would have been the artifact. Like I said, the black one means we cannot dodge that. And he hit us once. Moved away just in time. Ah, he's really added to it. Come on, go down already. We missed him. And there he goes. You were close enough to the card? Yeah, we were close enough to the card. Usually the battle doesn't end when you fight a boss, except when you go close to it and you get his card.
Down into the worms with him.
Yeah,
Perhaps
the
there
worms
is peace
with
for him in
him.
the grave, poor soul. One champion has been sent to the cabinet. Yet we are only at the start of our road. You will face 11 more opponents who will test your strength, your memories, and your resolve. Few fall at the first hurdle. None reach the last.
Yeah. You're scary, we get it. But we
You may
won.
claim your rewards, yet I will also claim mine.
Yeah. We get cards, but also he gets cards.
So do I.
Okay, so this is the part for the breaking of the seals, and you get cards on different aspects of the game. We'll break this, and we will stop with this episode. You can flip them all, and we will go, or I'll give you more info on our next episode or the rest of the walkthrough of the game. What should we pick? This will be the next boss if I'm not wrong. I pretty much like this one. This is also nice. This is there are a lot of good choices. Let's go with this one. The next token of our adventure, we have weapons and armors and artifacts. Now this is good as you get money with this, but this is also something I like. And a good weapon. Wow, a lot of choices. What should we pick? I guess we get the weapon because we can actually do our fighting with just a simple shield as well. Good, more damage is even better. We'll get the mace because it's also nice, not the combat, but also gives you loot and nice game through, playthrough for the game as you'll see it. Okay, so we're gonna break up here. Thanks for watching. If you liked the episode, just push that little button there. Subscribe if you want to see more, and if you have requests, just write them down below in the comments, and we see what we can do and give you some nice walkthrough for the games and explanations. So see you around.